getting the note to start. So, good afternoon, welcome. My name's Ed David. I'm the current chair for the society. And I'm just going to give a quick overview as to some of the things that are happening with the society. And then we have a real interesting panel to my right who will fill us in on a lot of details that I'm not aware of. So first and foremost, I just wanted to speak a little bit about the New Hampshire Society of CPAs. Currently, our membership's at 1,120. 44% are women, 55% are in public practice, 46% are over the age of 50, 35% of us have been members for at least 20 years. And recently I was at the AICPA Fall Council, and those percentages are fairly similar to what the AICPA is experiencing. So even though we're far away, we're in New Hampshire, the meeting was in Seattle, there are some similar percentages. One of the things that sets our society apart from a lot of the other societies is the fact that we do a lot of sponsorship. We have had very good success over at least the last 3 years with our sponsorship, and you can sponsor an event for a very inexpensive dollar amount, or you can sponsor for a fairly large amount. Robin's been very good with working with people. But that allows us to do some of the things we have been able to do. It also allows us to keep our CPE at a relatively inexpensive rate. CPE is huge. It's not huge from a profit center perspective. But if you look throughout our sources or our resources for CPE, we can all go online, we can do ADP, paychecks, you name it, they're out there, they're giving it to us free. The AICPA is our biggest competitor for it. I mean, I think you can sign up for $99 a year for CPE with the AICPA. But what do all those lack? What they lack is the peer interaction that you get when you go to a live seminar. So I would encourage all of you, if currently you're doing a lot of your CPE online, take 1 or 2 classes at the society. The peer interaction itself is invaluable. We do have upcoming events. I believe in your package you have a schedule of the CPE calendar for the next couple months. So I'm not going to bore you with going through that, but I think that is a pretty good set of classes that we have up there. Some of them are recurring as we do with the tax updates, but there's some pretty good new courses there that I think we all should entertain going to. The other thing we have coming up on November 20th, right down the road from here, is at the Grapponi Center. We have the New Hampshire Tax Forum. It's always a very good event. You're hearing local speakers speak about our taxation here in New Hampshire as well on a federal level. I would really encourage everybody today to, seek out, look at your calendar, see if the day's available, and just book it. The other thing that we've been doing for the past 4 or 5 years, and Robin will probably help me and tell me the date, is we've been doing a past chair luncheon. We hold it early in January. And we are also combining that this year, I believe, with our volunteer awards. So that has been, it's been an event that actually I have been really pleased with. And it's the one thing I, as the chair, have started to sponsor because I think it's great to recognize those who've come before us. I want to speak about my board for a little bit. And I see several of my board members here, which I greatly appreciate. One of the things I want to mention is, like the AICPA, when we go to their council meetings, all they're doing, they're pushing diversity. Well, diversity means different things to different people. Within the state of New Hampshire, diversity is fairly limited, but I want to just take a second and talk about how diversified our board is. Obviously, male and females, there's a diversification there. But our board members are from public, industry, education, government, and not-for-profits. For a state like New Hampshire, I think we have a very diverse board. We have large firms, small firms. It is what I think what the AICPA is trying to attain. Again, those of us here in New Hampshire, we have attained it. I'm going to speak for probably the next 2 minutes on the AICPA Fall Council meeting, which we just came back from Seattle. I landed at 2 a.m. Wednesday morning, Tuesday night, however we work that. But I'm going to give you a brief overview as to what is the AICPA council meetings. So every state has members that are included in the AICPA council. By default, as the current chair, I have a one-year term. Nina Chang, who follows me, she will be also there for a one-year term. Carl Hefield, Baker Newman Noyes. Carl has a 3-year term, so we will have some continuity there. Joel Olbrich, who's several down to my right. Joel is not a member of our representation. He is a member of the AICPA board. So Joel is a board member for the AICPA, so having someone from the little state of New Hampshire on that board is fairly dramatic, I believe. The theme this year was Reimagine, and Joel will get into some of the topics that we covered. There's some fairly exciting stuff, maybe a little controversial stuff that will be coming up the next couple of years. A big message was how we're going to reskill all of us, because we're constantly learning, and some of the skills we knew 15 years ago we really haven't used in the past 4 or 5. Artificial intelligence is growing leaps and bounds. My practice, we still do audits. Well, the big boys are out there doing audits with artificial intelligence. One thing I think is of interest to that is we as humans have bias, and the way they have written this software, the artificial intelligence, also has bias. So it's kind of an interesting concept. For smaller firms, we all need to figure out how we can use or incorporate artificial intelligence within our practice. There are some firms out there who are outsourcing this, which is allowed with audits. The AICPA is working on a couple products that will help us out. One of those products has come out. It's called OnPoint PCR, mostly for compilations, reviews. I have looked at it. I'm not currently using it because 30% of my practice is with construction, and they have not come out with a construction module yet. Once they do that, it's actually, when I looked at it, more inexpensive than using PPC or the other alternatives that are out there. The other thing, that product that's coming out is expected to be released in 2022. It's a dynamic audit solution that the AICPA is partnering with, and that's going to also bring us some of this artificial intelligence that we do not currently have access to. So I think those are the two things. If you do financial statements and you're going to continue to do financial statements, check out OnPoint first and foremost, and then just keep looking to see when DAS comes out. I'm probably not going to get it in 2022 because I never like getting the first year of any product, but I'm probably going to be looking forward to bringing that into my firm in the next couple of years. Some other interesting tidbits that came out of the AICPA meeting was the AICPA has 650,000 members. You can do the math if at $300 a member on average, what their operating budget is. So they are putting some tremendous resources into helping us out with these software. The other interesting item that was out there, and we're all experiencing it, accounting grads, nationwide is down about 4%. The other thing I want to talk about is a new domain that's going to come out from the AICPA. They're hoping to release it sometime next year. Most of our firms are .coms. If you're in the government, it's .org. The problem with all these .coms is it's very easy to create a fake .com. My firm is edcpas.com. If somebody put edcpa.com, would my clients know the difference? What is going to happen is the AICPA now owns the .cpa as a domain, which means when they roll this out, you have to be a CPA or a CPA firm to be able to use this .cpa. So from my own perspective, cybersecurity as it is, I will probably elect to change from a .com to a .cpa when this is rolled out. To me, for small practitioners, we have to stay on top of cybersecurity, and this is going to help us do that. And I believe the only other thing that came out of the fall council, Joel was going to spend, Joel, what did you say, 35, 40 minutes on the CPA evolution?
I hope not.
That makes two of us, but, so I'm done with my part.